Imagine someone hands you like a state-of-the-art supercomputer.
Right.
You bring it home, set it on your desk, and you basically use it as a paperweight.
Right.
You've got the hardware, but you have literally no idea how the operating system works. So welcome to today's deep dive. We're looking at a bunch of sources you sent us, notes and articles on Thomas Troward's 1913 classic, Bible Mystery and Bible Meaning. Our mission today is to explore this really provocative framework.
Yeah, reading scripture not as a, historical textbook, but as a literal psychological blueprint, like a manual for mental science.
Exactly. And human emancipation.
Right. And, reading ancient texts through early 20th century mental science might feel like a huge leap for a modern reader.
Yeah.
But True bases this whole framework on a strict mathematical premise. He points out the foundational claim that God is one, meaning there's a singular, universal, creative intelligence.
And because humans are supposedly made in that image and likeness?
Exactly, yeah. Troward deduces that human thought must inherently possess the exact same creative mechanism as the divine.
So you have the supercomputer.
You have it, yeah. And the text is the user manual.
Which brings us to user error.
Yeah.
Because if we have this immense creative capacity, why is the human experience so often just a total mess?
Well, that's where the Eden story comes in.
Right. Looking at the notes on the fall, Troward argues this isn't a story about a historical punishment at all.
No, not at all. It's an allegory for psychological ignorance. The serpent in Eden represents the illusion of secondary causes. So, functionally, that's the false belief that external circumstances like, the economy or other people or physical limitations have ultimate power over us.
Right.
When you believe the outside world dictates your reality, your mind basically processes that fear as a command.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you end up using your inherent creative power to manifest the exact conditions you're terrified of.
So we are constantly generating reality, but because we think we're just victims of circumstance, we accidentally program our supercomputer to run a simulation of our own worst fears.
That's a really great way to put it. And that continuous loop of fear creates a flood of negative conditions, which brings Troward to the story of Noah to explain how to navigate that.
Okay, the flood.
Right. In ancient symbolism, water represents the passive psychic realm. Think about water functionally. It's highly impressional, right? It takes the shape of whatever contains it.
Yeah, that perfectly mimics how our subconscious mind absorbs whatever thoughts we feed it.
Exactly. And the ark represents the physical body floating on that subconscious water.
So the takeaway is that true liberation isn't about escaping the physical world to live entirely in the mind.
No. It requires a holistic balance. You use the physical body to safely navigate those psychic waters.
Got it.
Because without that balance, the whole system breaks down. We see this play out again with Cain and Abel. That story illustrates the internal battle between intellect and feeling. Troward maps Cain to logic and reason and Abel to feeling and desire.
Wait, let me push back on that specific interpretation, though.
Mm-hmm.
If Cain is logic and Abel is feeling, why is Cain's offering rejected? If the goal is to operate a high-level psychological supercomputer, shouldn't pure calculating logic be the most prized attribute?
You would think so, but logic alone can't actually initiate creation. This goes to the core mechanism of how the mind works. Every human invention starts with a feeling, a desire that something better can exist.
Right, the spark.
Exactly. Feeling provides the initial spark, the creative blueprint. Logic is totally secondary, just follows along afterward to figure out the engineering and execute the plan.
Okay, I see.
So when logic operates without the warmth of human feeling, what Troward calls cold ratiocination, it becomes purely critical and actually destructive.
Which is why Cain kills Abel.
Precisely. A machine without a purpose just turns on itself.
That's dark. But if we follow that thread of destructive, purposeless thought to its extreme, we hit the concept of the devil. Looking through the sources, I have to ask, if God is one, and universal creative intelligence is literally all there is, where does an ultimate evil even fit in? Is it just like a spiritual vacuum?
Well, Troward argues the devil is not, a universal entity or some dark god. It's simply the power of the negative. Because the universe is fundamentally affirmative and creative, the negative only exists as a disintegrating force.
The spirit that denies.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. It only takes hold when a person actively chooses not to use their affirmative power.
So it only has power if we give it our power. Kind of like downloading a virus and intentionally giving it administrative access to your hardware.
That's exactly it.
The virus didn't build the computer. It just corrupts the existing system by denying its proper function.
Right. And by recognizing that mechanism, you stop fighting a phantom enemy. The ultimate goal of this mental science is what Troward calls perfect liberty. It's the freedom that naturally arises when you stop letting the illusion of external circumstances program your mind.
You align your personal thought with the universal creative flow instead.
Exact.
It's basically about taking the system off autopilot. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, looking at how symbols from Eden to the Ark map out the functions of your own mind.
It's a lot to process.
It really is. But there's one final detail to leave you with, something for you to chew on long after this deep dive ends. Ancient alchemists and mystics spent lifetimes searching for the legendary lost word.
Oh, right, the magical incantation.
Yeah, said to unlock ultimate creative power. Well, according to this framework, that word was actually never lost. It is simply the phrase "I am," a phrase you say dozens of times a day.
I am tired. I am capable.
I am stuck. The software is always running. So what reality are you creating the next time you hit enter on the words "I am"?